Welcome back to The Real Talk with Hagir. And this is part 2, guys. I'm going to tell you, we might have 6 parts because there is no way that I could have Lori here and have her leave without us getting everything. She is fun. Like somebody really, you feel good being around. But we stopped at an area that you were like deeply talking about, how when you grind, when you start working, people don't look, they look at the 5 minutes, the hour, the season or whatever. They don't see how much work you put, unpaid. Let's say that again, unpaid work. And while you're doing that and you're spending all those hours, you can get another job and you still have to eat, pay your bills, take care of your kiddos, get dressed, purchase everything you need for that. Okay. What am I missing right here?
Oh, the industry is not for the weak.
Yeah.
It's not. As I'm speaking to you, I'm thinking back to when I did the Hollywood strike. If you remember us.
I want you to talk to that. She's like this. Yes. Union. Love it. If you guys did not get to watch her in action, go back and see when the Hollywood strike happened.
Yeah.
You were front, center, anywhere.
Yes.
And she like really advocated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing that made me successful there, and I'll just sidebar this, was the fact that I had already struggled so much. So now I'm dealing with big names. And you saw me, it's like every star, like every day I was taking a picture with a different celebrity star. And I was able to help them, which was odd to me. But I had already been used to this. I was used to the struggle. I was used to the, going those long lulls with nothing, no money, no job, I was used to that. And here are people that were like on shows, and they were doing well. And all of a sudden they're without a job. They had gotten to a place and they forgot the grind that leads you to that big place. They forgot about that. And I was like that voice, if you will, to say, no, you're going to survive. You're going to be okay. It's not going to be comfortable, but you have to be okay in that uncomfort. I think about the kids that are sleeping in their cars in Los Angeles, the young kids that come from other cities and they come to LA and they want to make it, and they are, and they're doing amazing. They're doing shows, they're doing this, they're doing that, and they have no money to buy a home and they're living in their cars. That's dedication. I don't want to make it seem like this is how you have, this is the only way it has to be. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean your fight doesn't mean it has to be like my fight. But there will be a fight. And you're going to have to fight that.
It's a dog-eat-dog world in every industry, but especially with the competitive industry.
Everything's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's different about you?
What do you have to offer?
Come on.
Yeah.
Everybody's talented. So what's different about you? Everybody can model. What's different about your model? You see what I mean? So I was like, I had to develop in a place where I was like a dime a dozen. You turn around, there was another girl that looked just like me. I mean, you said yourself, Halle Berry. I was in so many ways, in a sense, competing with.
Why aren't you in the Halle Berry? Like, why did you blame this?
I did try to submit myself to her. Okay, so the funny story is that I was on Westworld, the TV show Westworld. And while I'm in Westworld, they did my hair in a wig because I had short hair. You remember for the longest time. So they put my hair in a wig. I was playing a robot, and I was supposed to be Tandy Newton. So I looked just like her too. And this is what I mean. Like, there's at least 10 of you in Hollywood that looks just like you, a variant of you. 10 of me at least look just like me, a variant of me. So I'm supposed to be Tandy Newton. And they were like, oh my God, you two look like twins. Wait a minute. You and Tandy Newton look identical, So I'm looking at Tandy and Tandy's looking at me. And they're like, Tandy, you should keep her. She looks just like you. She'd be your body double. Yeah. And she was like, no. I kid you not. True story. She did it 3 times, by the way. She said no to me 3 times.
Stunned the hits.
So as I'm okay, okay. So as I go back, they're taking down my hair. The girl who was doing my makeup was taking down.
She's intimidated. I couldn't let this go. She's intimidated. I didn't want to take her place. Okay. Because you're beautiful.
Thank you. And so she's taking down my hair, and the makeup artist. And the whole time I'm just talking, and she's walking around me slowly, and I see her get like about to here, and she's staring at me like this, and I'm thinking, what is wrong with this?
What is happening?
Oh, yeah, what's wrong with this woman? She was like, oh my God, you look just like Halle Berry. She didn't know I had short hair. So when I took the hair pieces off and was debriefing, getting myself back to myself, she's like, oh my God, literally
That's my reaction when I saw you the first time.
She said, yeah. So she tried to send me to Halle Berry. She was like, I work for her. I'm her makeup artist. She was like, you have everything.
Yeah.
All your features are identical to hers. No, take it. Well, so she did. She took all my pictures, took all my information, my name, everything, and she sent it to Miss Ferry. And Miss Ferry basically did not like that.
Cricket.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was right there with all.
That's why they say don't meet your celebrity, as you had to find now.
So yeah. So and it's okay, you know what I mean? She has her own body double. He has their Tandy Newton. They don't necessarily look just like them as say I would have. I was a closer match as far as looks, but they're more their height, their body, shape, things like that. So it worked out. It worked out exactly as it was supposed to. But
so tell us what like once you start to get, what was your very first job?
My first job in Hollywood. Oh, okay. I played the love interest of a very famous rapper. His name is Scarface. So you can look it up. The video's called Steer, Steer, Steer. It's by Scarface, and I play his wife. And in the video, it was a controversial topic at the time because at the time there was like a lot of, it's always been, but it was specifically, there had been an exceptional amount of cops killing Black people. And I think something recently had just happened in LA. I just moved there, so I missed what was happening. But he wanted to touch on that in this video. So what he did was he ends up getting shot in the video. I'm calling him as his wife, and he goes to answer his phone. The cops think he's reaching for a gun, and they kill him in the video.
Oh my God! I want to watch it. I did not watch this. It's called Steer, S-T-E-R.
So my second big job was actually Kanye West.
Oh, wow.
Kanye West hired me specifically.
Now I need the tea. Okay, cuckoo. Sorry.
Hired me specifically. So what he did was he went in and he hired all these different women. This was his 808s and Heartbreaks. He did a concert. And it was odd because 808s and Heartbreaks came out like in the early 2000s-ish. But this was like 2015, 2016. So this was years later. And I think it was because of his mother. That was his last album before his mother passed. And he wasn't over his mom.
Yeah.
He was still, mentally reeling.
That was my question.
Oh, yeah. We'll get there. He was hurting. He was still hurting. So he hired a woman to play his mom. And what I got to see, my experience with Kanye West, he hired an all-Black cast. That was just his preference. And he hired all the Black models. Like literally, he would look at me, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Like he put us all on the Hollywood Bowl stage. I had never experienced anything like that before or after. When you're on that stage, and the Hollywood Bowl it's a nice size, and this whole thing was packed to capacity. And I remember standing on stage and Kanye West being like right there next to us, and I'm standing relatively close to him, and as I'm standing there, you could feel the love of the people radiating. You could feel it. And I understand now why we do what we do. Because we can feel that love, that appreciation for us, especially once we've accomplished, especially once we've made it. That's currency. I just said a whole thing right there. That is a currency. That's our payback for all those hard times that we had, all those days that we had nothing, all that work that nobody paid attention to, all the no's, is that moment when you're on TV and you feel that love from people like, yeah, I saw you. Good job. I saw that job you did. I saw what that's our currency, even though we get paid.
That's the validation. Oh, it's it. You are in the right.
My efforts were not in vain. My talent is valid. I am worthy of what I just did. And that also propels you to keep going. I will never forget how that felt standing on that stage next to him. How it's palpable. It literally reads off of it. I felt love. I don't think he's crazy at all.
It's an act.
I don't think it's an act at all. I think it's strategic placing of things. Like they'll take reactions that he has, and they'll highlight that. But they won't show what people did to him to react like that. Does that make sense?
There is a saying that you push my button, and when I push back,
now
say, how dare you?
Yes, that's what I see a lot with Kanye West. And I'll give you instances. While we were there, I saw a little boy who misses his mom.
Dude,
That's what I saw the whole time. The woman who played his mom, in my opinion, she didn't look like his mother, but because she was mom in that particular project that he was working at, he showered that woman with all of the love that he would have given his mom. And that's not normal. That's not, typically when you do your job, you come in, hey, how you doing? Shake your hand. Okay, you can do this, you do this. Okay, thank you. You're done. Bye-bye. Great job. No, he took care of that woman like that was his mother.
He was misplacing that, missing his mom to the point that he's...
Yeah. So the whole time, because in that, what he did was he did a whole, like an act. He put on a play, basically, to the soundtrack of that album. And once he got to the part where she died, because he said the song that he was writing when she died, he played that song. I watched him the whole time because I was looking for the crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking for the demented. I was like, this man is nuts.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that. And it wasn't him, but I'll be honest with you, it was the people around him. The people that he's surrounded by, the handlers, the people who were controlling the money, controlling what happens, or they were crazy in my opinion. They were not right. I mean, like they would stare at you with their eyes wide open and would not blink.
Just like how they say sex sells,
Yes.
Also controversial stuff sells. So they're probably putting him, stirring things. So, and you know what? I'm not fan of Kanye West, but I will entertain this because I do know. So, and trust me, I'll even make you look. So you were looking for the crazy. You want to see
it. I wanted to come back and get because I knew this was going to be things people were going to ask. Yeah, especially even in Hollywood, people were like, how?
You really is he?
And I wanted to find, I could not find it in him. But I found it in the circle. People around him were nuts. These people. And they even told us, they warned us when we came in this bomb. They were like, okay, the people in his team are crazy. Oh, they didn't say him.
Okay.
This is our agents. Our agents warned us in advance. Like, these people are crazy. And they were. Like, they were just, it was a mess around him constantly. So what you're seeing, in my opinion, he's reacting. I'll give you another instance. There was a period of time where he wanted to really kind of get his life right. He grew up as a Christian. His mom was a Christian. He grew up in that setting. So he wanted to get back to that. And I remember he came to a church that I was attending. And just put yourself in his shoes for a minute. And Brandon, let me preface it. Okay, first, let me preface this. So there are some things that he said that he's done that are just like, like, come on, like you make yourself like, there have been, and I will definitely agree with that. There have been some things and some stuff that he said or done. He's like, okay, you're nuts. Okay. But for the most, this is what I've seen. I went to this church that he was attending. He came in. He would come in. He would come in privately. And as he would come in, imagine needing someone to talk to. Like, he's trying to get away from his handlers. Imagine needing someone to talk to. Imagine needing someone to just kind of confide in, and you're trying to run to the same place that your mother basically raised you in, where you knew to go as a child, like whatever, what religion or certain, you're trying to get back to your roots. You're trying to get back to that. I watched this man countless times come and try to do that. He was trying to get people to listen to or pray or whatever it was he needed. And as he was doing that, these same people that were supposed to be Christians, pastors, whatever, that were supposed to protect him in this environment were recording him.
Oh, wow.
They were recording his intimate moments. They were recording his conversations. They were recording those things that he was trying to come there to do to get the help for. They were recording it, and then within seconds of him
leaking it.
All right.
Getting paid for it. He can do better.
Right.
Honestly.
Right. And I would personally be the first one to say the black church has failed. I would say it. I don't care who gets mad about that. The church failed him. This man ran to the place that he knew, that was all he knew. He ran to them, and they took that opportunity to exploit him. Yeah. They exploited him and his pain and his moment of vulnerability. And they recorded everything. And I know this firsthand. I'm not speaking what I heard. I'm speaking what I saw. And he never came back. And actually, in my opinion, after that is when he really spiraled. that's when you start seeing the wife, the new wife that he kind of got rid of.
Yeah.
You know, him standing in public, just being weird. Like that's when I started to say, okay,
something is happening here.
But
But you know what? It's a lot of the people around us, like you said, somebody push you to the point that you lose it. And then they're like, see, I told you. She is crazy. Told you she's mean because you were defending yourself. And I'm not saying this is the case, but we can do better. Like, I know that a lot of people say, oh, you're a public figure. Like, a lot of people think that just because you are out there doing a show or acting or doing something, that's mean you're public property. No, there is a line.
come on.
There is a line. And I've done this with so many people. Be like, oh, if you don't want us to talk about with you and cut and do stuff like that, don't put your pictures and video. I was like, I can do whatever the heck I want to do. Come on. But you don't have the right. Just like consent. When we say if somebody got in a relationship and I'm okay with you. I like you. We want to be together, whatever. And at some point, I don't want to do it no more. Saying okay first and saying no after does not mean you're going to have to suck it up and stay the course. That's the same with everything else. But what other like things that you can share, like with your jobs, like you did your second with Kendra Waste, and then
My first time working with Denzel Washington.
listen,
I'll show you mine.
everybody knows Usher as my
Yeah.
Now I don't like he's not my celebrity crush. Like I love him, but not that kind of love. But Denzel Washington,
Yeah.
girl,
So I met Denzel Washington on the set of the Roman Esquire movie. So I was in that movie, but it was my car that was in the movie. So in Hollywood, I drove a Mercedes. I drove a nice little Mercedes sports car. It was souped up. It was nice. So my car, we get just as much jobs as I was.
sometimes
It was
just
literally
be like that.
me and my car were working actors. I kid you not. Even the car I have now had an agent. Oh, I kid you not. My car that I have, my current car now, has an agent in Hollywood. You know, and they're like, we need this car in a music video, whatever. You want to come get your car.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, that's
But you have a dope car with a science car.
Oh yeah, in Hollywood, they'll come in, represent your car, and plug that car, and next thing you know, your car's in a video, you know, or a TV show. So that was the case. My car was in the movie, and he was in a scene where he was in a restaurant. He was crazy, first and foremost. So the Roman Esquire, the character was demented. One thing about Denzel, he's a massive method actor. So method actors, they become the very thing.
There is no cut.
No. Being the method actors, they are that character 24 hours a day until the movie's done. So he basically, if the character is very nice and happy, Denzel is very nice and happy. If the character, and it goes back to Kanye West, you see what I mean? That whole perception. So, if the character is a jerk,
He's going to be a jerk. He's going to be a jerk. You can't see me blushing because listen, my skin is darker, but I am blushing.
gamer, you're so cute. They warned us. Now they warned us ahead of time. Do not talk to Mr. Washington. Do not call him Mr. Washington. He is Roman. When you don't call him Denzel, you call him Roman if you address him, but we prefer you to not speak to him. Don't make eye contact. True story. You cut don't make eye contact with him. Leave him alone because he was there. And nothing was going to break him out of that. You had to leave him alone. So all of us were terrified of him at this point. We're all like scared to look. Like, you know how they say,
He's a character.
right. You know, but you know how they say like the dogs, you know, like, and I'm not calling him a dog, but you know, like when they say the dogs don't look him in the eye, it was like that. It was just like,
Yeah. I'm not doing anything.
I'm not looking. La, 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 la.
Maybe the people around him are exaggerating. See, they don't want you to be neat.
So, and I didn't want to, none of us wanted to be around him. We did not want to mess this up. Okay. So fast forward, this is a particular scene. It's nighttime and they take my car and they're literally parking my car in the scene. So basically what you'll see is them parking the cars and then you'll see like the camera comes in and then they open the scene and he's in the restaurant. Okay. Now I parked my car. So I'm outside. I don't know what's going on the inside, what they're setting up because I'm outside my car. I park my car, give them the keys. I walk in. Nobody stopped me. Nobody said, don't go through that door. Don't go over. No one said anything. So I'm just walking in, just fucking in. I'm happy. And I open the door. And on the other side of that door is Mr. Denzel Washington sitting right there. And he's in a chair like this.
in character.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's just stewing. He's angry. You know, he's just sitting there just like this. So I walk into the door oblivious. And it wasn't just me, it was a couple of us. So I walk in and it's just him, just like Denzel. And I'm like, because I made eye contact. So I'm like, oh,
You didn't know what to...
and I don't even know where to go. You know what I mean? Because he's right there. So if the celebrity is there, typically they already have that blocked off.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I walk back out? I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, and I'm still trying not to look at him at the same time because we already looked at. So he looked at me and he just kind of, you know, like does like that. And I'm like,
He should, I don't know.
So I go and I walk over. I see a whole bunch of huddled. It's actually funny now because we were terrified. We, in a good way, in a respectful way. Yeah, I don't want to paint a bad picture, but we were just all not trying to lose our job.
He's in character.
We're trying not to lose our job. Yes, you know. So I see a whole bunch of huddled people, makeup artists, you know, people in the background, people like that. They're all like on the side. Okay, so here's where the camera shot would have been, like here. So it was like a whole row of people just off camera, right here. Yeah. So I'm like, so I just went over to them, you know, and just get out of the blend fire, yes, from here, okay? So I get over there and we're all like kind of huddled. I kid you, it is the funniest thing. So we're all huddled together, just kind of like, don't make a sound, you know, don't breathe, nothing. So we're all standing there, right? Now, let me just preface this with, in Hollywood, only the director can say action and only the director can say cut, okay? No one else can say it. If you say it, you are never going to work in Hollywood. And I go, oh, yeah, okay, you're done. Pack it up.
Good to know.
Exactly. Only the director. Action, cut. All right? So we're all huddled off in the corner, you know, but we all want to see this. Like, this is Denzel Washington, you know what I mean? Like, we just want to watch. So we're all just, like, hooked. Like, and so the director comes in. He's like, okay, quiet on the set. We're rolling. And action. As soon as he said it, Denzel still sitting in his hair like this. And he's like, the director goes, and action. Denzel goes, and cut. Oh, yo, people over here. He points to all of us huddled in the corner. Oh, you people over here. Get out here. I have never seen, I mean, it was a good row of people. I've never seen people move so fast. We all just packed up. I mean, we could just picture it. We were gone. I don't even know where we went. Like, some people went up, some people went down, some people went under the chair. You know what I mean? Some people just hung to the ceiling. Like, and we just went. Everything just poof, just gone. And cut everybody out of here. So we get out, we run. That was literally my experience with Denzel Washington. Oh my God. That was literally.
That's the love you.
Yeah.
You're in character.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant. There's a reason why he went to Academy. Yeah, there's a reason why his every movie, everything he does is stellar. I mean, it's just gripping, you know, because he
becomes his character. Yeah.
Yes. He becomes it. My goodness, that's the other level to it. You know, once you kind of make it to get to where people see you, now here's how you become legendary. That's your next level. That's the evolution. Now I need to immerse myself in these characters. Now I need to become who, you know, now I need to make a difference in acting because we have great actors. We have. How do I make myself a great actor now?
Yeah.
See what I mean? So I may not be any longer fighting for survival. I may not be any longer, you know, I don't know if I'm going to eat today or whatever, you know, or fighting for that job. I may not be in that position. Now I've transitioned. So from here, how do I make what I do?
What's your mark? Like the Denzel laugh, you know, everybody got their own thing. So after that, this is like the beginning. So you were doing this and you did a lot of, you know, even Leonardo da Vinci, like I said, oh my God, Leonardo DiCaprio. Most of the big actors, they do talk about how they were extras. And with work, you have to grind and do all of that. And then when was it like the moment that you got something that you felt like this is a break?
Marvel called.
You gotta have to watch Marvel.
Marvel.
I was so happy.
Marvel was humbling. I had to humble myself for Marvel. So here's another big mistake. Now, when I got to Hollywood, everybody wanted to be the sexy girl. Yeah, everybody wants to, you know, the breast, you know, the tip fitting.
Oh, yes.
So the sexy, the everybody wants that job. Well, the problem with that is everybody is in line.
They got the same doctor, y'all.
Come on. But everybody, that's a very long line for that. When I got to Hollywood, I was very much a professional model. Everything about me modeled.
Yeah.
I just sat there and I modeled. I wouldn't try, so when the producers looked at me, they were just like, model. So I had to prove myself. Hollywood doesn't see the vision for you. You have to show them. Okay. So like a lot of times people come into Hollywood and they're like, oh, well, they should just know I want to be sexy, or they should just know I'm, they don't. You have to do stuff to show them. So when I got there, I was willing to be the bad guy. That's actually my dream, is to be a villain. I wanted to play a villain. I wanted to be the bad guy. I didn't mind taking hits. So I learned how to fight. I trained how to be a boxer. I trained how to be a fighter. I trained how to flip off the stuff. I trained how to do the stuff that the pretty girls, the sexy girls were not trying to heck no. So like I was taking on roles where I would fight. People would be throwing jabs at me and I had to learn how to literally fight. That was what made my difference. So when I started doing movies where I would do like makeup prosthetics, I would be hideous creatures. And I remember sitting in the chair many times doing the movie Bright with Will Smith. And I did this only because my son at the time had cancer. So I was trying to do it so I could get in and get a picture, and I'll show that picture.
Yeah.
So I could get a picture with Will Smith for Devin. And Devin's my son. So I had to be an ugly, ugly creature. I mean, this thing had fangs. Yeah, this thing was ugly. You know, they showed the big shit. And the whole time, the people were just like, you're so beautiful. Why would you, like, what is wrong? Why would you? And I'm like, am I getting paid to do this? Yeah. I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, what's the problem? Yeah. But that was the difference. The humility.
Yeah.
I was willing to be the thing that nobody wanted to do. Everybody was so busy trying to be.
Want to show their face.
Yeah, I got to be sexy. I got to be,
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll be ugly. And I wasn't doing it for attention. I needed to work. I had a son who had cancer. I had bills to pay,
Yeah.
So I started doing those ugly characters, the creatures, the things like that. And then Marvel called me for Captain Marvel. And they were just like, you can do this, but you have to get trained in prosthetics. So prosthetics is where they literally glue the mask onto you. They glue it to you. So they put like a baseball cap on, glue that down, glue the pieces to your face, and you become another creature. So like when I would come in at 3 a.m, I would look like Lori. I would go to sleep. I'd wake up. I'd be this creature. Nothing about me was there anymore. I was green. I was hideous. And that was my big break. So I was there and I was filming Captain Marvel for about 6 months. We filmed that movie. We were the first school.
Can I share something?
Yes.
That I was the first to know before she was advertising this to everyone. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the first there, but the first here. And it was so hard to keep it and just like talk about it as soon as we were able to talk about it.
That's okay. So we did a scene with Samuel L. Jackson in Captain Marvel. And in this scene, Samuel Jackson was rescuing the Skrulls. He was getting us out of this refugee camp and taking us back to our country or our planet. And in the course of that, he had a gun and he walked in. And I don't know what he saw to this day. I don't know what he saw. I just know he looked right at me every time. He just kept looking at me the whole time. And I'm green. Like I look like the other, because it was 9 of us total. We were the original Skrulls. I look like everybody else. So we couldn't even differentiate ourselves. So how are you able to, So he's looking at me and the whole time he just kept, so, he walks in, we're shooting and he's like, who can shoot this gun? You. And I said, I can. And he handed me the gun.
Wow.
In the scene. So basically what he did was he created a way for them to pay attention to me. Samuel Jackson.
Thank you, Samuel Jackson.
Thank you, Samuel. Yes, that's seriously. So he kept, once you do it one time.
But also, sorry, I know I'm shouldn't cut you, but you prepared for it.
Yeah, I was very ready. For it. By this point, I got past.
Like
I got past.
Give yourself a credit. He just opened the door for you, but you.
I didn't freeze. I
did not freeze.
None of them spoke. None of the other, because he didn't care who said yes. It wasn't like I'm going specifically to this girl.
Yeah.
He was creating an avenue for someone, and it didn't matter. And I spoke up and said, I'll do it. That was the line. I'll do it. So he gave it to me. And now he has to keep doing it, which is called continuity. He has to keep doing it because he did it in that take. He has to keep doing it. So every take, we did about 25 takes. Not my mistake. Not because he did about 25 takes. That wasn't my fault. Clear. Just made that clear. Your girl didn't keep messing up. Okay.
No.
We got that right, sir. He had to do it, and he finally had it. And then finally, Marvel came up to me and was like, "We're gonna cut that, but it got them to see me. Yes, it got them to pay attention to me." So we finished filming that roughly about 2019-ish, somewhere in there. And about the pandemic came, and I get a phone call. And I'm literally just like everybody else sitting at home, depressed. We're all sad. The life is over. The life is done. And we're trying not to die from whatever this thing is, And I remember just being home. Just nothing was going on for weeks at this point, So I'm just sitting there and I get a phone call and the guy's like, "Hey, we need you to come back to shoot for Marvel." And they were like, "We need you to be that character, that green thing. We need you to be that again." And I was like, true story. I said, "Nah, I'm okay. No, I'm okay. Yeah. And he was like, "Okay, really cool. Really okay." And he just kind of, all right. And he gets all to my wife, here's the information. So he walks away. And I'm walking, because at this point I did just kind of go outside. I was going outside to go exercise. And I'm like, "That's Marvel." That you said, "No, what are you doing?" I don't know why I just had like that delayed reaction. What are you doing? Yeah. And I called him back, and I'm like, "Hey, I was tripping. I'm sorry.
What did you just say? Can you get?
And it was like he was waiting like 5, 4.
He knew it didn't click.
You're not gonna say no, you know what I mean?
The Marvel.
And he answers like, yeah, Lori. Not literally, yeah, Lori. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What
was it thinking?
Yeah, no, please forgive me. What did you say? He was like, "Oh, it's no problem. We want you back for Marvel." And he told me very little, but he was like, "We want to hire you back. Are you okay with that?" And I was like, "Absolutely." Within 10 minutes, I had a script with my name on it and literally signed like an NDA saying I couldn't say anything. So for a whole year, I couldn't tell anybody not one thing that I was doing. I had to just continue to play dumb. And then, as you know, you guys are watching the biggest TV show in the world at that point because we were all in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And who pops up on TV? Your girl. Who showed up on TV? My phone rang for 2 weeks straight. I kid you not. It was pinging, dinging, ringing.
I was sharing. I'm sure people were sick of me. So I'm like, "Look, my girl is here."
I couldn't say a word for a year straight. And then finally, I knew it was coming, of course. And I just didn't know where. I didn't know where they were going to put me in there. I didn't know it would be where it was. I just knew I was in there. And sure enough, it was one of the most iconic scenes.
So after that, did that open up for you? Or it's still like, I know it's like, people say why big actors and people, why are they still working? Because you have to continue to work. Like, it's not like a one-hit wonder and you're done and live off that money happily ever after. That's not the case. So you have to keep grinding and, you might get another big one or you might not. So where are you right now?
So the Hollywood strike happened not long after that, if you remember. When we were in the middle of the pandemic. So the pandemic really wiped out a lot in Hollywood, wiped out a lot of jobs, wiped out a lot of money. It really hurt the economy, as we all know. Then the strike came shortly after that. Now, the premises of the strike, which a lot of people don't understand, the strike basically was for two main reasons. One of them being that the whole streaming thing that everyone's doing, that everyone's putting their money into, was not paying us the way we were supposed to be paid.
Yep.
Meaning, when I did Grey's Anatomy, I was 10 years ago. I'm still getting residuals. Top pay. Okay? Very well. With the streaming, what they did was they made it to where they get paid and we don't.
Okay.
So they take a large chunk of our money.
Yeah.
And they take it for themselves. And we get
nothing.
We get pennies. So what should have been set me up for life by doing that huge episode, by having that, it should have set me up for life. It didn't, because the way we had never heard of streaming. Yeah, prior to this, streaming was very new. When we were signing those contracts, we were signing contracts to our own detriment. and didn't know. So now in Hollywood, not just me, in Hollywood, the way we used to get paid, the way we used to be able to live off of, the key was to get a job, get your residuals, and then you can live comfortably, very comfortably.
Yeah. And then,
And
ask for more.
you'll find that was the whole purpose. It doesn't work like that anymore. So now you have people who are top celebrities still having to hustle and work their butts off because this whole streaming thing has caused it to where we don't get our residuals in here. We don't. We get that big pay for the job, but we won't get paid that perpetual residual anymore.
But they do.
And they do think the big people. So this is why you're seeing commercials, regular commercials with big time celebrities in it. Do you notice that? You're seeing them everywhere.
It still continue, but we're not seeing anything.
Because now that's in the residuals. That's how they're getting paid in between the big movie roles, the big TV shows. This is how they're getting paid because they have literally eliminated, they cut off our hands by taking away our residuals. Yeah. So the moment that I did make it was one of our biggest,
drop down. But listen, if there's one thing that you learned and one thing that we learned from those two parts, and this is not the end. No, truly not. We are going to have you when anytime you come back. I know you will be here for something you might not be able to share with us, but this is just like a stepstone in your way.
Absolutely.
The same way you got to where you're at. Now you have knowledge that you can share. We are going to talk about what you can do. Like anyone needed help, you have the knowledge. They can reach out, consultant. Like there is a lot that you can do. And again, you will know how to reinvent. I am Lori on TikTok, on all social media. We're going to share pictures. We're going to share clips. We're going to show you so many things. But before we end this, I want to do a lightning round. That's going to be like quick.
Okay.
And then when we have you next time, we're going to do the full one. Okay? All right. So who's Lori's crush? Hollywood crush?
Denzel Aegis.
Okay. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I'm just being his
Denzel Aegis.
I'm going to look him up. Is it true you shouldn't meet your celebrity or crush?
You shouldn't meet, like it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avoid that.
Yeah.
If you have the chance to talk to the 16 years old Lori, what would you tell her?
You're enough.
Oh my God. Fuck that. Yeah.
You're enough.
Who is your inspiration?
Me.
Oh God. I love this girl. You know why I love her? You.
And I say that humble. Why? I say that humble. Because we give so much credit to everybody else except for ourselves.
I don't think we can end this at a bare note. I don't want this to end, and I'm sure anyone is going to watch us is going to feel the same way. But like I said, this is not the end. This is just scratching the surface of real talk with Hagir. And soon it's going to be a real talk with Hagir and Lori. So, I'm just putting it out there in the universe. Thank you for being here. I love you. Keep grinding, keep being the inspiration and the role model that we all love. And you all out there, remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.